has a house. He eventually worked up to get himself a house. And he would have done that with my mom staying there if they were together. But I already knew that too. I already knew. But it's just looking at things from different angles, so you get to the same conclusion, but from a different point of view. So the sentence of the realization phrase is different. So it's a different phrase, it's the same meaning. Like we've talked about another part of that perspective of, but the other part is implied, is what I'm saying. And then once you say the other part a lot, it feels like you're learning something new, but it's really just a greater understanding of the same situation, right? So, I'm just thinking about it, and I was, and I don't know, I'm jumping topics. I might be forgetting, to finish certain thoughts, but something that I did want to make sure that I said though, is that I've had this conversation twice now. I was telling my coworker, and then I told my homie Power Saif that that I was trying to do this that I was just having this conversation, do this podcast, but the thought was about to talk about this on the podcast. The thought was always as soon as I had the thought, I knew I wanted to talk about it on the podcast, but I was telling my homies that civil rights was in the 60s and funk was in the 80s. So hip-hop was in the 80s. Funk was probably 70s. So wow. Wow. That makes so much, people were essentially still being seen as less than 100 years ago. And having to fight for that less than 100 years ago. So yeah, they were sensible people. That's why they were fighting for their respect. But think about how damaging that is, that you ruined somebody's life and that they're messed up. A lot of people were able to fight through. The fighters, the strongest fighters, the ones probably making the most. It's probably, everybody's in this together. So the soldiers on the front line doing a lot of the work might not be having the best go at life, and others, their mind is sharp, they understand the situation, and they're fighting for their rights. But the work is getting done by both of these people, and if your life is messed up because of this whole system, it's totally logical that your kids are gonna probably be messed up, and their kids are gonna probably be messed up, and that's the current generation that is here right now. The young adults, my age group, they're, if not their grandparents definitely seen some shit and been through some crazy ass shit. And that shit is fucking insane that people want to not understand that. Or they do, and they're trying to make sure you don't even think about it. Because what really should be happening is healing and self-preservation. They say don't self-preserve, and we need to put our money together, right? But the only way that you can have things to offer into a greater community thing, you need to be well off first. And I don't know, because it's hard. Because yes, it would be easier if we all dropped our stuff and helped each other pick everything back up. That would be easier. That would be in theory. But then they say, if you traded my problems for yours, you would run back to your own problems. And then I don't know, is that true? Like, nobody's experience is unique. That's something that my cousin told me that, I had to really think something about. That nobody's experience is unique. We all experience loss. We all experience hardship. And that's what life is. And you age and, it happens to every single person. We are 35 minutes into the hour. I am your host, all caps Cheech Reloaded. This is the all caps Cheech Hip-Hopcrsy, studio technology, sound effects, and botany, and quality, and sprinkle in a little bit of poverty, and you get this show. You feel me? You feel me? And if you don't feel me, you can. But if you touch me, I'm gonna beat your ass. So, hell yeah. I'm self-taught. I know how to use nunchucks. A little bit. But everything that I do know, I self-taught. Does watching a video make you self-taught, really? Because you're still watching an experienced person tell you. Which is the same thing that you would be doing if an experienced person was telling you. It's the same experience, honestly. But anywho, and any true would be... Oh, man. I'm talking gibberish now. It's getting dark outside when we're talking gibberish. No, I don't know. I'm just high. I'm trying to think about what to think about, and at the same time, kind of going blank-minded right now. We're going to take a break. You're not going to hear the break. There will be no actual pause in the released recording of this, but I'm going to take a break, and I will be right back. I am your host, all caps, Cheech. Be smooth, be safe. This is the Hip-Hopcrsy podcast, and don't go anywhere. We're talking about God, guns, niggas, bitches, hip-hop, life. It's Daddy Longlegs, Brown Recluse, a.k.a. Barry Mucho. I'll be back. Peace. We are back. This is the Hip-Hopcrsy podcast. Let me hit this. Chonged vape. Cheech and Chong Legends brand. Yeah, so I don't want to talk about now. Dame Dash is a fucking beast. He's the one that gave Kanye his vision about getting land and all that stuff. He probably, gave me the vision. And he definitely did, for sure. He's the one, if he gave it to Kanye, then he's definitely the one that gave it to me. And he goes on the Breakfast Club, and there's a new interview, I guess, which I need to watch, but I've been seeing clips about it, where him and Charlamagne, arguing and shit, and Charlamagne makes shit like a joke, like he's trying to joke around that, Dame Dash is broke, and Dame Dash is saying, all my people taken care of. If you're making a lot of money and all your people are taken care of, and that takes all your money, is that broke? Is that really broke? And, that shit is fucking crazy. But one thing that I will say is I don't know why Dame Dash doesn't put money in the stock market and just get loans. That's what I don't get, actually. That's what I don't get. But maybe that is a difference, owning things that you paid for in cash and not things that you have on loans. But the things get paid for anyway. If you put it against on a loan, then they'll take it on a loan. So if the loan starts to collapse, they'll cash it out when they need to get their money back. I don't know. That's something that's a contradicting thing that I'm trying to think about right now. But that does make sense too. Like, you can't really do that maybe if you're trying to take care of a lot of people and you're buying a lot of people houses and stuff. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. But hopefully by next year I'm gonna be, by the end of next year, I'm gonna be dipping my hands into some real estate. I'm thinking about going tax exempt on my job. That's something that's really interesting to me that I just found out about. My homie had told me at work that he goes tax exempt, and I don't know. Like I didn't think that. I didn't know what that meant. But then I just asked him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I just do that like myself. Like I just go and say that I want to go tax exempt, so I get my full paycheck, and then you just pay back whatever. And if they're giving you a tax return, obviously they're taking too much out of your paycheck, so you wouldn't be paying back as much as you think. Only, 2,000 less than what you were gonna, give anyway, or I don't know exactly. That equation right now. I just went over it really fast and I got distracted actually looking at the box. The box for this Cheech and Chong card is badass. I fuck with this. And there's like two colorways of the card. I have the Tommy one and they have a Cheech one, which I'm trying to get. In the back of the box that you open, on the back of the insert, there's a picture, like a grainy, fuzzy picture of Cheech and Chong, and they're like famous outfits. This card is like the jean outfit blue, and it has a bandana print wrapped around it, like his headband, and then it's black on top of the mouthpieces. And it is pretty badass. Has a peace sign on it, and then Tommy Chong's face logo on the back. Badass cart. We are 42 minutes in right about now, and I got a keyboard to the right of me, 2 Sharpies, a new test bit, my driver's license, and a roll of paper towels. Not to mention this, what did it say? 32 by 30, maybe 36 by 36 painting that I've done recently. I'm just in the basement. Just in the basement. My daughter's on a play day at the park right now. She should be home soon. I'm just here doing my best to finish out this hour of the Hip-Hopcrsy podcast. I'm your host, Hip-Hopcrsy, and this is the Hip-Hopcrsy podcast. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna probably end it off at 45 minutes. Something that I've been thinking about is changing my life and becoming the person that I want to be. And that's going to come from, I feel like, changing my diet, changing my lifestyle, changing the content that I take in. Yeah, I give it all to God. I give it all to God, give it all to Allah. And I just want to send a prayer to everybody. Hope everybody has a good week. I want to make sure that we're being safe, we're being smart, we're being strategic, we are being militant. Those of us that are fighting a war, I want us to know God, I want us to talk to God, I want us to be with God, not without I want us to purify, to heal, to love, to be curious, to explore, experiment, process, come to your own conclusions, ask questions. And this is Hip-Hopcrsy Chichibil signing out. This is the Hip-Hopcrsy podcast. Peace, 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 peace. Power.